Hey guys, it's Mario from WATL. Today we're going to go through the top axes meant for axe throwing. Today we're going to go specifically through every single one of the axes that you need in order to perfect a throw and to be able to throw an axe properly. The first one that we're going to start off with is the WATL Competition Thrower. So this is what we call a typical house axe. Even though it's a house axe, you can actually use this for practice, for home use. This is probably the best balanced axe that we have. And what I mean by that is when you release, the rotation of it is so true and it is so easy and simple to let go. You don't have to worry about flicking your wrist. It's just a nice smooth transition to be able to rotate this axe. This axe is extremely durable. It has the biggest eye we actually have of all the axes because this thing can actually take a beating. So this is what most facilities use for throwing. You'll notice that there's a straight handle. It's a nice smooth handle. It kind of feels like it's a bit unfinished, and that actually helps in releasing the throw as well. The thing that you'll also notice is that we have a dual wedge on that axe, so it provides that extra bit of support. The wooden handle part of it, you'll see here, is much thicker than the bottom part, which is a lot thinner. Again, this provides more durability and takes a beating. You'll notice that the profile is thin. This isn't the type of axe that you would ever find at a hardware store. Even though you can actually use it to chop down trees, this one would be suitable for that, but it's actually meant for axe throwing. The thing that's great about this axe is it's simple, it rotates well, and it's very easy and simple to throw. If you're starting out an axe, this is a must-have axe that you have to throw. A lot of throwers are still actually using this in competition, but if you're just starting out, this is the perfect axe. One thing I want to mention is that this axe is generally about half the price as the other axes that WATL sells. So this one, as a starter axe, ranges in around the mid-30s to purchase. Very cheap axe. It's generally cheaper than a lot of the axes that you would normally find at a hardware store. So it's very cost efficient. It's meant for axe throwing, which with a straight handle means it's going to release nicely. So for the great bang for your buck, this is the one that you're going to want to start off with. The next axe that we're going to talk about is the Commander. So this axe has a full 4-inch clearance, which is the regulation size of WATL. This is also another very durable axe. You'll notice the two dual wedges in there, extremely large eye, nice straight handle, very smooth, and this is actually durable, but it's also much thinner of a profile. So if you notice with that axe, this axe can also take a beating. It's actually a bit heavier than the other competition thrower and on the heavier end than the other axes. The thing that's nice about this axe is you're gonna have a very hard time dropping it because it's got that extra weight and it's gonna pound right into the boards. The head weight for this axe is gonna be 1.75 pounds, so this one is a heavy hitter. This axe is great for competition use, for tournaments. This is the type of axe that you're going to want to step up to as you move up to the higher end ones. It's going to be priced in the higher to mid-tier range. It'll be in the high 50s, mid 60s. So again, this is called the Commander. Great axe, extremely sharp profile. Again, not the type of axe that you would find in a hardware store. Straight handle, specifically made for axe throwing. The next axe we have is called the Corporal. So this one is about 1.8 pounds. It's definitely a nicer, heavier hitter axe, will last a long time. The thing that's nice about this axe is if you're starting out and you're having problems dropping, you're generally sticking the axe, but you're not quite sinking it in. This is what this kind of fish hook is designed for at the bottom. So what it does is when it gets thrown in the board, it actually sinks in. And so a lot of players will say, you know, I have a hard time actually getting it out of the board because of how it sinks in. So with the weight and the rotation of it, it actually goes down, sinks in, clips in, and even if you didn't throw it hard enough, this thing will save you. So again, this one's called the Corporal. This one's around in the low 70s range. Great axe, heavy hitter. You'll notice a ton of weight in the back of that head, and that is designed with a purpose. The whole idea is if you have a lot of the weight in the back, combined with the fish hook, this isn't the type of axe that you would typically see any drops in because of all that weight being pushed forward when you release with that momentum. The Bat Axe. This is one of my personal favorite axes. Look at how cool that design is. So you got a snake, two axes crossed. This axe is extremely sharp. This is meant for more higher end competitors, competitions. Listen to the sound. I don't know if you're able to tell, but that's how sharp this axe is. A lot of throwers say I love just pulling it out because this is the type of axe that just sinks right into the board. Extremely, extremely sharp axe. You'll notice that the profile is very, very thin, very narrow. This axe weighs about 1.6 pounds. It's very well balanced, so it's nice and easy to throw. So it's not as heavy as the Corporal, it's not as heavy as the Commander, or it's not as heavy as the Competition Thrower. This is if you have, if you want to throw a nice lighter axe, being able to throw it, control it a bit better. This one might be a good pick for you if you find some of the other axes are too heavy. Let's say you might maybe have wrist problems, or you have maybe weaker wrists that you don't want to kind of sacrifice in making those strong throws and doing overhanded throws, or even baseball type throws. This is a perfect axe for that. It's very well bladed, well balanced, and it's got an extremely sharp profile. Again, this one's the Bat Axe. Excellent axe, perfect for throwing. Next up, we have the Ace of Spades. You'll see the Ace of Spades in the back of the axe. Extremely well crafted axe. It's got 4 inches of coverage. You'll notice that the 4 inches, we try to extend it as much as we can, then it starts going in. This is great for throwers that have those rotational issues that maybe over rotate or under rotate a bit. It provides that level of kind of forgiveness to be able to stick the axe nicely. The other thing that's great about this axe is with the curved blade, if you have problems figuring out your rotation, the thing that's nice about the curve is it makes it easier to stick in than a flat surface. So the concept of it and the idea is that when you have a curved blade hitting a flat surface, you'll notice that when it hits flat, let's say it hits perfectly there, it's going to cover this much. So all of the force is forced into that part of the axe. And so what happens is the axe is able to bury in deeper. Now, this axe is probably one of the thinnest profile axes we've ever made. This is meant for advanced throwers. So it's not for beginner throwers, not for intermediate throwers, and definitely not meant to be a house axe. This is the type of axe that some of the highest level competitors in the world use. It doesn't require much force because of how thin it is. The weight balance of it, you'll notice that we have a lot of weight in the back of it. This axe is actually quite light. It's just under 1.6 pounds. It's slightly lighter than the Bat Axe. And the thing that's nice about it is it doesn't require much force. So it just requires a nice, easy flick forward. It's almost similar to throwing a dart. So if you have, again, if you want a nice light axe, you're a more advanced thrower and you want something that will consistently stick, the Ace of Spades is a perfect throwing axe. Last but not least, we got the Butcher. So this is one of the most popular axes. Again, this is a phenomenal axe because it's meant not only for advanced throwers, but even intermediate throwers can actually use this axe. The thing that's beautiful about this axe is it's got a full 4-inch coverage throughout. So whether it lands flat, and let's say the board's chewed up and it goes in deeper, you're still gonna get the full coverage. The thing that's even nicer about it is, mathematically speaking, if you land at an angle and it buries in deeper, from here, let's say it hits at an angle from this part to this part is actually more than 4 inches. So this is the optimal coverage that you can get with this type of an axe. It's extremely well balanced. You'll notice that a lot of the weight, if you look at it sideways, is actually all in the front. So this axe actually rotates very quickly and very fast forward. So we have the majority of the weight in the front of the axe, extremely well balanced axe. It's 17-inch handle that it comes with. You can cut it down to 16 inches, 15 inches, 14. Depending on how you throw, you'll be able to figure out little by little what the optimal handle length will be. The thing that is also great about this axe is it comes with a thin profile where it'll stick nicely, but it's also very durable. This is one of the most probably durable and most higher end axes we've ever created. This is the most expensive one out of the whole line. Again, it ranges from the intermediate throwers to extremely advanced throwers. This axe is absolutely spectacular. So there you have it, folks. Those are the top throwing axes that we have available. They're all available on the WATL website. So if you go to worldaxethrowingleague.com or specifically store.worldaxethrowingleague.com, all of these axes are available for purchase. These are the best axes that are out there on the market, specifically designed and meant for throwing. You'll notice that the one thing that they all have in common is they have extremely thin profiles. They're extremely well designed, well balanced, well built, so you can have a wide range of axes, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or an advanced thrower, and whether you want to throw something light or something a bit heavier that's a heavier hitter. We have such a wide range of axes that are available that you have essentially 6 great options to choose from. Thanks very much, everyone.